Good evening. I'm Joshua Martin, Coordinator of Gifted Talents into the Arts, and welcome to the Dr. Rodney R. Lafon Performing Arts Center. We are thrilled to gather for our annual Parish Honor Band event. Thank you all for joining us tonight. Thank you, parents, for your dedication and the continuous support you provide in our efforts to showcase the talents of these incredible students. Thank you to the district leaders who are here tonight in support of this event. Please hold your applause for thank yous and acknowledgments, starting with our school board president, Mr. Ellis Alexander, school board members, Mrs. Karen Boudreau, Ms. Becky Weber, Mr. Al Suffren, and Mr. Ray Gregson, Superintendent Dr. Ken Ortling, Assistant Superintendents Ms. Teresa Weber, Ms. Erin Grenier, the executive staff members in attendance, and the school administrative personnel that are here tonight. Please join me in thanking them for this. It is because of the commitment of our band directors that tonight's event is possible. Thank you to these teachers who continue to prioritize opportunities like Parish Honor Band in pursuit of challenging and refining the musicianship of these young players. Please hold your applause for special thanks to this year's Honor Band chairpeople, Mr. Daniel Davis of Norco for the elementary band, Mr. Stephen Tumlin of Albert Kamen for the middle school band, and Mr. Chris Williams of Destrehan High School for the high school band. Please join me in thanking them. We thank our chair people for their hard work and assistance of all the directors in preparing for tonight's performance. At this time, I will invite you all to stand, to face the flag over here to your left, and to sing along with a duet on saxophone by Montrell and Noe. They are Destrehan High School seniors, and they are playing an arrangement by Noe with the assistance of their talented music instructor, Miss Sherry Mahler. So again, I invite you to stand and sing along with Noe and Montrell. Great job, guys. Nice work. Thank you. At this time, I will invite you all to refer to your program, listing the information on our guest clinicians, tonight's musical selections, the names of our student performers, and the names of our district band directors. With that in mind, please join me in welcoming our first ensemble, the Elementary Parish Honor Band, and their clinician, Mr. David Rosenthal.
this on? Yeah. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. That first selection was a little tune entitled, and I'm not sure if I got the right pronunciation, but I think it was entitled Danza Africana. The next piece that we're going to play is completely different from that. It's called Mechanical Monsters, and it kind of sounds like that. It's got a lot of percussion effects and stuff like that to it. So I think you'll enjoy it. Mechanical Monsters. The next selection has been a real challenge for these young people up here, and they have met it. Okay, this is for this level. This is a very difficult piece of music, and they've really done a wonderful job bringing it up to the level that they have it at now. It's called Roman Juggernaut, and it basically tries to paint a musical picture of the Roman army way back in medieval times, marching off to war. And I think after you hear them perform this, you'll agree that they're pulling it off. Roman Juggernaut.
Before they begin their final piece, we'd like to acknowledge the hard work and dedication of Mr. Rosenthal. We so appreciate the time that he has given to our students and all that they have walked away, all that they will walk away having learned from him in these past couple of days. David, we can't thank you enough. Thanks for being here with us.
Well, as the saying goes, it's always nice to come home. Okay. For those of y'all that don't know, I spent 31 years as the director of bands at Hahnville High School. This whole area, this place, has a very special place in my heart. I want to thank, first of all, the directors for, I guess, well, no, for, I was going to make a joke, but I decided not to. I want to thank the directors, though, for asking me to do this. I've done quite a few honor bands over the years, mostly at the high school level and a few middle school / junior high. This is my first elementary honor band that I've ever done. And I got to tell you, I've had a blast. These kids have been a lot of fun, and you can hear the results of the teaching that's going on here in the parish and what these kids are getting. And because without that good teaching, that good foundation, what you're hearing tonight wouldn't be possible. So I appreciate not only them having me here, but for all of their efforts and dedication to their craft. I especially want to thank Mr. Daniel Davis as the chairman of this honor band for all of his hard work and getting it ready for me to come in. And I also want to thank all of the other directors as well, because they were always in rehearsal, they were always doing something, helping one of the kids, one of the sections, or whatever the case may be. So a lot of the progress that was made, I can't take credit for because they did it. So I'm very much appreciative. So we're going to close the program tonight with, as the saying goes, for something completely different. It's called Dancing on the Bayou. And we're going to be doing a few little things in there as well that are not necessarily musical sounds, but I think you'll agree after you hear it that it definitely fits the bill. Again, thank y'all for having me, and we'll close with Dancing on the Bayou.
Great job, guys. Audience will ask for your patience as we transition to our middle school band. Thank you. Thank you for your patience. Please join me in welcoming our middle school Parish Honor Band and their clinician, Mr. Willie Martin.
All right, good evening, St. Charles Parish. Thank you very much. My name is Willie Martin. It's an honor to be here with you guys today in my home parish of St. Charles Parish. It was 2 years ago. I've lived in Lafon Parish for the last 15 years, and 2 years ago I came to this, the Lafon Center. I came here and I saw a production of Annie. And maybe some of your kids were in that, and from that point on, I knew that I wanted to be able to perform with an ensemble in this group, and that is why I moved to St. Charles Parish, is because of this amazing facility. And thank you guys. I mean, there's other reasons, right? There's other reasons. Yeah. But that was a piece called Jazzu by David Schaefer. Great piece for the kids to learn swing style and a little bit of jazz chords going on. The next piece that we're going to play is called Byzantine Dances by Carol Britton Chambers. She's just a phenomenal middle school, even young high school composer. And this is going to have some Turkish dances. You're going to see the students utilize some body percussion. It's fun. So, Byzantine Dances. That one's fun. Fun to teach. Hey, our next piece is a piece by Randall Standridge, who's just a great middle school band music composer, and it's a piece called Fragile. And this is an interesting work. This work it talks about mental health. Mental health is a bit of a taboo subject, and it's something that I'm very passionate about being able to talk with students and talk with family about mental health. Randall writes this. It's actually a story of his mother's depression. And you're going to hear a theme. You're going to hear a theme by our clarinets. And that is going to be what's referred to as Shirley's theme. Okay? And that's his mother. And it's this beautiful, beautiful melody. And then you're going to hear a descending line. Yum, beam, bomb. You're going to hear that in the low brass, and that is the theme that comes around when Shirley is not feeling great. You know, these students. I want you guys to think about this as adults, right? These students have gone through an incredibly hard time in their life in comparison to what we did growing up. Their childhood was stripped from them. They've experienced death before we probably did when we were young. They are connected in a way, in a world where everybody has to be connected at all times. You have to be always available. Social media. All those things that we didn't have to deal with growing up, and all of those things in a child's eyes it's a lot. It's a lot to go through, I want you guys to think about that as we play this piece. You're going to hear a lot of different things. You're going to hear some things that are intentionally sounds off and create some tension. It's going to be uncomfortable. I hope you guys enjoy this. This is Randall Standridge's Fragile.
final piece, we'd like to acknowledge and thank Mr. Willie Martin for his time and talent that he shared over the past couple of days. I know these students will walk away after tonight having learned so much from him, and we cannot thank him enough for his time. Thanks again, Willie, for being here with us. We appreciate it.
I thank you guys so much for having me. It's an honor of mine to be able to share music with students in St. Charles Parish. It's really special. I appreciate that. I want to leave this with you guys just to think. In my career as being a band director, I've seen what music does for students. I've seen that it gives them an outlet. It gives them an activity. It gives them a passion. And it's just so important. So it's so important. I value the fact that St. Charles Parish values music, it values the arts, and again, having a place like this, school board members that are here, again, thank you guys so much for investing in the arts. It just means a lot. The last piece, by the way, these students are amazing. These students are amazing. Thank you guys again, all those directors, the directors who are out there helping make this a success today. Thank you guys so very much. It's an honor that you guys would, I don't know what you're thinking, but I don't know why you let me in front of your students, but yeah, that's great. Our last piece today is another Carol Britton Chambers piece. It's a new one of hers. This is one that's called Squirrel Chase.
Great job, middle school. Audience, we ask for your patience as we transition to our final ensemble of the evening, the High School Honor Band. Thank you. Please join me in welcoming our final ensemble for tonight. the high school Parish Honor Band, and their clinician, Dr. Anthony Purcell.
Well, thank you all and good evening. My name is Anthony Purcell, Director of Bands at Northwestern State, and it's a pleasure to come back home, St. Charles Parish. A little bit more about that later on. The first piece that you heard was the March Triumphal from the opera by Giuseppe Verdi called Aida. And Aida was an Ethiopian princess who was captured by the Egyptians. And one of the military commanders fell in love with her. And he had to choose between love of country and love of Aida. And once the Egyptians conquered Ethiopia, it then became loyalty to country. But as a gift from the king, whose daughter loved the commander loved someone else, he decided he wanted to make sure that he would be able to free the prisoners of war, if you will, and one of them was Aida. That march comes from Act 2, where the commander, after the win in battle, grants him his wish. This next piece that you're going to hear is by a young gentleman named Kataj Copley. Kataj is about 26 years old and right now getting his doctorate up at Michigan State. This is a young man who, during the pandemic, when I was at Central Missouri, University of Central Missouri, we were limited on the number of students we could have in our band at any one given time. Many of the COVID measures that we fortunately have passed through. But I was looking for new pieces of music, things that would involve a small group, and I thought I wanted to go with something a little different. So I looked for pieces that involved 9, 10, 11 students rather than quartets and quintets. Nothing wrong with them. I just wanted to be strange and different. You're laughing like some of y'all know me. So I looked up Nonet and I found this name that I did not want to pronounce in public, Kataj Copley, because I did not know how to pronounce it. And that's what gave me the infatuation at first. I went to his website, I listened to the piece of music that drew my interest, and as I told the students, many who have played other pieces by him in their careers so far, I put about $1,700 of music into a cart, knowing that my wife would not be very pleased with Kataj Copley or his music. I limited that to about $700. Kataj is a young man who, it just inspired me just from his youth and not getting a formal education in composition, but in music education, which prepares us, but not the direct path most of us are used to. This piece, Starlight, is one of about 100 pieces in his catalog, and only at age 26. And if you want to close your eyes, not for too long, and listen to the piece, it should mesmerize you with the stars that we see at night, and it all begins with a clarinet solo, a single star, that then leads to many. This is Kataj Copley's Starlight. This next work here, we're going to actually bring up two students from Hahnville High School, Thomas and Patrick, who will be playing a trumpet solo for us on the next piece. To introduce us to the piece, and also to expand a little bit on when I first started, I got my start here in St. Charles Parish, 1996, at Destrehan High School. I know that's about a 50-50% vote. Thank you. And this is where I got my start right after graduating from Loyola. And I learned quite a bit. Number one, college doesn't teach you everything. Number two, Al Horn makes the best jambalaya on earth. Please don't tell my mother, she's in Kenner, and that's not a good thing. But Al, love you, buddy. Oh boy. There have been many students who have been impacted by this parish and its school board, present and past. I owe a lot to Rodney Lafon. Rodney was a student at Loyola a few years before I was, but we shared the same professor, Joe Weber. And going through Loyola, sometimes you hear stories once in a while about former students. Sometimes things to avoid, and other times things to aspire. Rodney was one of those in the latter. And sometimes in the former, but in the latter mostly. When I met Rodney Lafon, it was right after I interviewed, and I toured the Destrehan campus after interviewing at central office, and knowing he was a music ed and a friend, it really comforted me to know that that's how I got my start. The mural that is in the front with his photo, we were eating dinner last night, and I told some of my friends, many who I either taught with or know of or are former students in some capacity. I said, I'm not sure how I feel about eating in a nice building with Rodney looking over me. So, Rodney, we took care of it. We took out the trash, buddy. I'm so pleased that after his passing, one of his dreams to provide a performing arts center for our youth in this parish and for these surrounding areas come to fruition. And what a venue this is. Please help me thank Rodney, his leadership, and our current school board. I took many valuable lessons from Destrehan and from St. Charles Parish, and I am so happy that after 20 years of being away, I'm actually able to catch that one there. We're doing some aerobatics too, so it's going to be fun. I'm so happy that I get to call Louisiana home again, and being up in Natchitoches and being so much closer to home, it really fills my heart. A similar story that we're about to embark on is a piece called I Remembered Clifford. And Clifford Brown, much like a lot of our leadership in this parish, and of course that of Rodney's, Clifford Brown was unfortunately killed in a car accident when he was just 25 years old. Many of you all of the generation of James Dean have a familiar story, and at a very similar age with his passing, and with all the talent that young man had on screen. And Clifford Brown was the exact same, but for jazz and for trumpet. He was known for his lyrical playing and just a very warm, velvety, buttery tone. This is a piece that I was fortunate to be able to write for the Boston Brass and my former ensemble back up in Missouri. This is I Remember Clifford, and featuring Thomas and Patrick from Hahnville High School.
Kudos to Patrick Sander and Thomas Pfeffer. Great job, gentlemen. Great job, band. Before their final piece of the night, we want to acknowledge and thank Dr. Purcell for his time with us these past couple of days. Thank you so much, Dr. Purcell. We appreciate you being here. And now for the final piece of the night.
I always try to stay on script because my wife tells me when she attends my concerts, I know when you go off script and I know when you don't prepare them. She would be happy to know tonight while she's on a convention in Baton Rouge, I'm on script, sweetheart. This truly has been a pleasure. You always feel and hopefully believe in that as a clinician, because the opportunity to get to work with young students, whether you're at the college level, elementary, it does not matter. The fact is this is where the work is, this is where the rubber is meeting the road. I would like for you to help me thank not only the administrators that support the band programs, our school board that supports our band programs, but all of the hard work of not only the students, you as parents, but their directors. Would you please give all of those folks, including yourself, I've done a number of these, and this is my third one this year. I have one more coming up, but it's the first one in my career that I come in and almost feel like all I do is just drop the downbeat and we're ready to go. The preparation of not only the students, but the directors getting together. I mean, this should be illegal. It makes my job so much easier. And the fact I get to work with young students and watch them grow. I think we had a total of about 6 hours to put together our program, and that's considering not the bridge traffic this evening. So nothing has changed at 28 years. This is a very special one for me, and right before I introduce the last tune here, again, I told you this is where I got my start. This baton, when I was at Destrehan, we had a little bit of a turnover. I was the fourth person in 4 years to be at that place. And it was a very difficult beginning for a lot of those students. Those students, many times, one in particular, and his name is Jason. I will not mention his last name just for his privacy. But Jason came up to me after the second day of band camp. Tall, skinny little guy who always wore Atlanta Braves stuff, and looked at me and said, "Mr. Purcell, are you going to be here next year? Because if not, I just don't want to do this anymore." It literally was that moment. And now more so as a dad of a 17 and 18-year-old, but as a dad in particular. But it was at that moment I realized band is the tool. These students all have a place of belonging. They all have a place of safety. They all have a place of creativity. They all want to feel loved, cherished, challenged, and belonging to something. That's a trait that they don't just pick up. That's a trait from you as parents and from everyone that influences them. From our hats, thank you, parents, very much. That year, I told the students that I would be returning. I had some that were happy. I had some that were, darn, I didn't do it. But at the end of the year, they gave me this baton. This baton is 27 years old. And I carry it with me in every one of these honor bands that I do as a reminder that it's not always about the end product. The end product is important because who wants to? I've been through those middle school and elementary band concerts as a dad thinking, oh God, 4 more pieces, okay. But that's okay. The end product is not what's important. It's how we got there. And this baton reminds me of those days, of those students, and what it means to them to do not only this, but what they do each and every day. I really do appreciate that. Our final piece is a little tongue-in-cheek. I chose this, acting like a clinician who's never been to Louisiana. It's called Of Gale Force Winds. I apologize, and if we summon anything this coming June, my name is Gary Westbrook, and I teach at Charleston State University in Texas. Thank you so much. Enjoy our last piece.
School Parish Honor Band. Excellent job, guys. Thank you all for joining us tonight. I encourage all of you to grab a Lafon Center brochure outside of the box office on your way out. I'm especially excited about Come From Away at the end of the month, so we hope to see you there. Parents of middle and high school students, we will dismiss them into the lobby so you can find your child in the lobby area. Parents of elementary students, if you would please exit into the lobby. You're going to come back around this way toward the educational wing and pick up your child where you did for all of our rehearsals back here by the flex room, okay? We appreciate you so much. Thanks again for coming and drive safely. Good night.